I like the music. I be rapping. I might freestyle for y'all.
Yeah, I heard. I see.
We'll do something. We could do something at the end of the show. For sure, we could do that, bro. We never had a freestyle on here yet.
I see that.
No that's why it's gonna have 1,000. That's why we're gonna. Come on.
I could clip it too as many times as you need to.
You're the clip king. Yeah. You were just telling me how they. I was telling you how they clipped it.
Right.
You didn't really believe me.
That's hilarious. Yeah.
Can we bring the table closer now that we sitting down here? We ain't getting up again.
Yeah, for sure. Let's just make sure it's straight. That's better. You good?
There we go.
Let's get it. Yo. All right, cool.
Yes, sir. Yeah, you can do a mic check.
This is longer. It was reaching across. Still reaching.
Yeah. Yeah, sure y'all got the right ones? Because I put your headphones right in front of each other.
Yeah, that's what I had.
All right.
It was
we got it.
Okay, I'm going to step over.
All right,
my bad. Yeah, all the cords is in the way. Just be careful. I ain't had no way to put them.
Take it, move the Hutton by the cracker board. Keep the book out the way. Okay, yeah, now we got a little bit more.
Yo, what's up, y'all?
What up, though?
I'm Kay.
I'm Chaz.
And we are Culture Content.
Yes, sir.
Baby. We got a special guest today,
yes,
man.
We do.
We're going to get right into it because, we on one right now and we feeling good. So, the one and only, y'all, Brandon Price is in the building, man.
Right,
Brandon Price is in the building.
Let's get it.
Let's go.
So this is why we're going to have all these views. We just started. This nigga just said my name wrong. My name is Brandon Rice. Brandon P. Rice.
Yo.
What she said?
Brandon Price. He said it 3 times. He said 3 times Brandon Price. And that's not my name. But
he missed it too.
I haven't done it in a while. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just let you introduce yourself the right way. You know
there we go. This is a moment. This is one of those moments.
Yeah, this is raw.
This nigga said, okay. So I'm the one and only Mr. Rice, entertainer, entrepreneur, investor, extraordinaire, father, and all of that too.
Let's go.
But no, I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be a part of the Culture Content Podcast. I didn't know y'all podcast name before I came on either. So but it's fair.
We all good. We all good.
Fair game. Like I said, I've been a Pittsburgh native. I grew up in Columbus. Went to school in Louisiana. And, I'm a mix of all of those things, all of those experiences, all of those different cultures to be, you know what I mean? There's no better word to say it. All of those different cultures, that makes me who I am today. And so I'm happy to be here. Thank y'all for having me on. Y'all can follow me, Mr. Rice, not M-R, M-I-S-T-E-R. Rice, Mr. Rice. I'm Brandon P. Rice on Facebook, not Brandon Price for the record. And
put it all together.
No, but people do that. Like that's happened to me before.
Yeah, because I put Brandon P. on
Mr. Price.
Yeah, I got you.
Mr. Price is crazy.
But it's Mr. Rice.
It's Mr. Rice. This is way better.
Let's get it. Like the high school, you feel me? If you're from the town,
Rice High School.
Yeah, that's an old boys school in the city, and they known for basketball and whatnot. So,
known for balling.
Yeah. But I know you in football, but we're gonna get to that too in a couple seconds. I'm about to let you just run your own show, man, because can I move this over?
Man. All right, so
no.
I'm about to say if you're not too much.
Yeah. Nah, I'm gonna open it up just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So, because I do got a little
stay
flow,
on track.
You know what I'm saying? Because I know you will talk. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, you told us about yourself a little bit. Let's just get into the business aspect of it. You know what I'm saying? So, tell us about how many how many businesses do you own or are you in partnership with?
Okay, so
and you can list them, whatever.
Yeah. So I'm definitely not gonna get in here and tell all my business. That's not player. But
you keep it P.
I like the word in the words of Pete, you know, you said partnership, and that's important. You know, sometimes people get into the mistake of thinking that they got to own everything to be able to capitalize, right? Like not being the one responsible for the tax bill is fun. You know what I mean? Like
not being responsible. Is
you know what I mean?
thing.
Like you can sleep at night. You know what I mean? Not being responsible for getting payroll together every other Friday or every Friday and having to run around for different banks and spend your money. Might
Sometimes
have to
you
ask
just
you.
want the check. You know,
You know,
what I mean?
so some like you know you got to learn partnership. That's gonna be we're gonna keep it P all podcasts.
Okay,
Because I'm Brandon P. Rice, not Brandon Price. You know what I mean? So we're gonna keep it P all podcasts.
Well, like I said, you don't got to list all of them, but
No. So thank you for keeping me back on track, right? So first of all, I mean, I would be remiss without saying, you know, talking about AmeriCare Staffing, which was originally Home Healthcare Staffing. My grandmother celebrating 27 years in business. Before she even started her business, she was involved. You know what I mean?
How many years?
With her
27.
27 years, and she corrected me today. You know what I mean? But she's been doing her thing under her own EIN number since 2000. You know what I mean? So I like to say, in my experience, is she's, you know what I mean, the largest, still standing. She started before everybody. Largest minority, longest going minority home health care agency in the city of Pittsburgh, and in this area. And we worked in different areas. So that's the first thing that I'm involved in. I've been doing that for 13 years. A lot of people don't know that I do health care. But we'll talk about that
later. Don't get too much
No.
into it.
We'll talk about that later. You know, I'm involved with as an entertainer. I'm involved with Cultivate Enterprises. We all that entail. Well, Cultivate Enterprises is actually over.
It's the umbrella.
Yeah, it's the umbrella.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
My bad.
So we do hosting. We do hosting, entertainment, and management. Events. Because hosting is entertainment. So you know what I mean. You know, entertainment, events, and management.
Nice.
You know what I mean? That's what we do under Cultivate Enterprises. The boat is a big thing, man. If you live in Pittsburgh, we got all this water here.
Yeah,
and
three
Black,
rivers.
They
man.
don't
Three
be,
rivers.
and people don't be. Nobody wants to get in any of them.
Right, because they
I don't
that
blame
bad.
you, but definitely on a
I've
boat.
been in the river.
That's like riverside.
I've been in the
water.
rivers. Like my son jumped in the, you know, put a life jacket on him. He been in the river.
Yeah, I wouldn't. do that.
Yeah.
Man, the water is not dirty. The bottom of the river is muddy. You know what I mean? That's where the color's coming from. You go somewhere and it's blue because the sand underneath there, and the water is clean.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So we from New York, right? And we got this river called.
Both y'all from New York.
Yeah, we both from Harlem.
From Harlem.
I
I'm
ain't
from
even.
the
Oh
east. I'm
shit!
from the west side.
from the east side.
Oh shit!
So-
Niggas is niggas really from Harlem or is niggas from the Bronx? Like like
Hospital.
Jim Jones, like everything like Harlem for sure, or like Harlem on the weekends.
Don't do that.
That was crazy because you really got to ask though. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
'Cause
sometimes.
Jim Jones, Jim Jones is a staple of Harlem. And then
For
you be
sure.
like, yo, I was
When
born
people
in
from
the
Columbus
X,
find
it's
out that I'm from
crazy.
Pittsburgh, they be feeling like betrayed. Like, nigga, you don't like the Buckeyes?
So, I'll put it out there now. Harlem Hospital, Harlem 503 West 138th. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
really in Harlem. Like
Yo, why the fuck
Amsterdam,
do niggas
Broadway.
know the address to the hospital that they was born at? Like,
That's not the hospital. That's the block.
that's your
That's
block.
the crib. That's the
Yeah.
crib. Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was. I thought you was
But
like
that's on
you said Harlem
130
Hospital.
That's 135th and 7th though.
Yeah.
Lennox.
Lennox.
I know
Yeah.
we
Niggas
it's a
is really
simple-
from Harlem.
It's a grid. So we take over from like 12th Avenue to First.
When y'all
Avenue.
going back to New York?
I just came back.
this
All right,
weekend.
so like I
was
want to
there
go to
like
New
2-3
York with y'all.
weeks
I
ago.
want to. Yeah, I've
some-
been
we can
to
make it
Harlem.
happen.
Like
Get
Uptown
some
is.
rest.
can make it-
Get some.
It's gonna be a long night.
Yeah,
Nah, real talk though. And yeah, he's from the East Side, Madison,
East side,
116th.
116th and Madison,
Like,
1760. I was born in Mount Sinai Hospital.
types, you know what I mean? Like
so
you
yeah,
want us to
East
talk
side.
our shit. I mean,
Yeah.
my bad. You can talk
all
our
right,
shit.
yeah. I'm gonna finish talking about these businesses, and then
we
gonna
get back-
talk
we get
our
back,
shit.
yeah.
We
So,
discussed-
okay,
well, we was
so-
talking about the rivers though. But
Right.
Oh, yeah,
Get
so
on the
East-
boat.
we got the
Get
East
on the
River.
boat. Get on the boat.
The East River and the Hudson River.
Yeah,
you
that's
don't
different.
Get on those.
Yeah, that's
You
those
don't
is
get-
like
those
that's
is
like
not-
the ocean. Like that's like
No, those is rivers, but
I
like,
know, but it's
they
like because it's so dirty.
they so dirty you
Filthy.
don't get in there. Like you.
Like, I mean, okay,
totally-
you're not like swimming and shit. Like I feel
You might get
I feel
fungus
you.
or something.
Yeah, you can just go to the beach. Like if you really want to get in the water, go to the beach.
Yeah, but
New
you
York.
don't even want to go to the beach in New York.
Nah.
Nah, you don't want to go to Coney Island. You don't want to go to
Manhattan
Palm Bay
Beach, you
Park.
don't wanna go none of that.
You don't want to go none of that. Like when I say that, so when
That's
you
the
say
Hudson
dump
Bay.
it,
That's the Hudson Bay. Like that's
I don't
not the
know.
fucking
It's dirty.
ocean.
I don't know who bay that is. That's not
Like,
my
I don't
bay.
know who bay is that.
That ain't my bay.
Well, yeah,
You know what I mean?
whatever happens, do not get in the
Okay.
water in New York.
In New
That's
York,
all
all
we
right.
say.
So facts. So like in Pittsburgh, you can get in the water. You can actually. We got 3 rivers. You can get in the water.
Okay.
Like it's good, safe for kids and adults. You see my skin? This is
And
you know-
this disclaimer: we have no proof of facts.
I'll show y'all. I show y'all the clips, but no. So started out with the healthcare, cultivate entertainment.
Cultivate entertainment.
You know what I mean?
Correct.
And I would be remiss without talking about real estate, concept homes. Real estate investment. I'm also involved with have a government contract with Allegheny County to do a $1.6 million building on Braddock Avenue, 106 Braddock Avenue. They got straight up horns for that. They have it's just like a very, very minority based thing. So there's a lot of black people that have been able to own buildings and have been challenged to promote and come out with their ideas and do businesses. And so we were selected to do a project, a RFD, not an RFP, an RFD.
What is
Yeah, I'm about to say, what is that?
Request for development proposal.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's RFP.
No,
Right, RFP and RFD. Right.
Yeah,
So
right,
it was
right.
RFD. I was making sure I was saying
Yeah,
it.
because
And the
RFP
right
is
thing.
just the request for
Proposal. Right.
Correct.
So it's a
Okay.
request for so it's RFDP. It's
you
a
need the
request
one
for
for the
development
development
proposal.
proposal. Gotcha.
Okay.
gotcha.
Yep. So that's what it is.
That's bigger
And,
business than just the regular.
Yeah, because you gotta and it's not just like we'll pay you some money. It's like you gotta
Right,
have
right,
some money
right.
too and have a reputation for doing things. So that's a development contract and also do.
Let's talk about, what about you could get into Wealth Wednesdays real quick.
Yeah, I was definitely about to ask
jump
about
into
that.
that?
Yeah,
Well,
please.
what business
yeah,
are you
One
talking
thing,
about?
hold on, one thing at a time.
No, that's fine.
You
That's
got a lot
fine.
going
Okay.
on, so I
Got one more.
I'm trying to go over.
Yeah,
One more.
One
You told me I can go down the line or not go down the line.
Go down the line.
All
Go
right,
down
so,
the line.
Now I would be playing myself if I didn't
Yo,
do this,
I'm
man,
having
because
fun right now.
absolutely, this is how it should be, right? Like, you know what I mean? This is entertainment.
Right.
This is and for entertainment purposes only.
And
along
learning,
those
too.
lines, yeah, we about to learn some shit, man. But I do the sensual massages like you see on Instagram and
I
shit.
did see that.
Yeah.
So mobile massages and everything.
Yeah,
You
mobile
doing?
massage.
You
A man
want
touch.
apartment B dudes?
I live in a house. I live in a house, right? You know what I mean? It's all professional though.
No,
You know what I mean? It all, absolutely.
As it should be. But
Right.
I'm just saying, like,
it's all professional. You know what I mean? A lot of y'all doing that. A lot of women, people haven't been touched in a sensual, non-sexual way.
That's crazy that you put those two things together.
But they go together.
I mean,
Like peanut butter and jelly. Like what you talking about?
Yeah, I get you, but when you go to massage, that is just to feel good though. Like that
Absolutely.
is just to,
Release some stress.
and everything.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely,
Yeah,
right.
so I mean, I guess I took that the wrong way. I
Massage
said
them.
that
I
the
mean,
wrong
it's
way.
we being silly.
yeah.
You know what I'm
We
saying?
are.
Sometimes.
No, I'm not offended. I'm not offended. Shit. It sounded sexier me saying it that way. That's another S that I put together. Sensual and non-sexual. They go together
And
though,
when did
man.
you start that business?
Right. Do you know it's a new thing? 2025.
So you're a partner in that
So
business.
you just started that.
Talk about that.
Right. No, so this was my idea. You know what I mean? I enjoy that in my personal life, and so I was able. This is dope. So I was able to go from idea to income in like
You executed.
in like 3 weeks. Like
that.
just order some shit off.
fact.
Just order what I needed off Amazon. I made over $1,000, and I've still got some of the same oils for the first bottle. I made over
what's
$1,000 for a $16 bottle of oil. Made $1,000.
You want to talk about
crazy.
8 to 20, 20 to 100, 100 to 1,000,
Right.
that to 100,000
Right in front of
the housing. You know what I mean?
Shit, I never heard that song. What the fuck? Oh man, so
That's
we all gonna be
Cameron.
learning. We all
That's
gonna be
right there.
That's Harlem. That's Harlem.
right. I was
seen,
listening to like
But that,
Gucci Man and shit.
the
Like,
essence
Paid
of
in
that is
full?
basically how he was able to flip something
Yeah.
1,000 times.
oh no,
And
I get that.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Like, no,
Yeah.
I just said I never heard the song.
But in front
Okay,
of
I
the,
know
in
that.
front of the
I know that.
housing is
Yeah, in front of
In front of the
projects.
housing, yeah,
It's in
like
front of the projects.
facts,
though. Yeah,
facts. Shout out to government housing.
Yeah, that's
business.
I like how
Night
you
shift
spit
business.
that. Yeah, that night shift for real
business.
though. It's real.
So that's
And
all my
another
businesses. That's
thing.
all the businesses I want to talk about.
So you
know what I mean?
Trump
Cultivate
was just talking
enterprises.
about my bad. Trump was just talking about it did NYCHA that you can only be in there for 2 years.
Yeah, I heard that.
Starting
I heard
2026.
that. I heard that. Like,
He also talked about something. We can get into it.
No. What are you
One thing
talking about?
Nah, he was just talking about he sent a letter to New York State to the governor to cut that congestion pricing.
Oh yeah,
I just got the congestion price.
what's congestion prices?
So basically, basically
BS
what
like
it is.
it.
yeah, some BS. Toll
What it
they
is
put in New York.
basically is they charge you a toll to get into certain parts of Manhattan. Anything from 61st Street and below in Manhattan, you have to pay a
$9.
toll, and the toll is up to $9. And after hours is like $2.75.
My grandma just got a ticket. If you pull up in if you park in if you pull up in a non-permit area in Pittsburgh, like if you try to go to Oakland and just run at Chipotle and get some shit,
Yeah,
and, you know what I'm saying?
I
Like
think
you'll
it's so
get a
weird
ticket
to
off the
get a
video.
ticket in New
You'll
York.
get a video. They
Pittsburgh.
have a video camera now that will get. My grandma wasn't even out of the car, so to speak. She got a ticket. She didn't give her a ticket. She had a ticket from the video camera on parking.
That's whack.
It's in Squirrel Hill.
That's whack.
wow.
I can't believe it's
a new
cameras out
shit.
there like that. Yeah.
So she was outraged. They charged my grandma rich. They charged her $36. She raised hell.
yeah.
Nah, that's my money though.
36
I don't give a damn.
I ain't gonna lie
Give me
though.
14 cents.
$36 ain't bad. You know what I mean?
But still,
you get
like-
a speeding ticket in New York, it's easy. $50 for going 30 miles an hour. 35, I think it is.
Bro,
Yeah.
New York.
I got a ticket one time for going, and I was going 27 miles per hour in a school zone when there's no schooling session.
That's crazy.
Oh yeah, that's fucked up.
The money
Why'd you
grab.
fight it?
Money grab.
Huh?
You should have fought it.
It was
It'd
too
cost
late.
more to park
But the
down
only-
there.
the only thing
It'd
about
cost
that,
more
like-
to park at court than it would have.
The thing about that is when you got
I
out of
got
state, when you got out of state plates, they liable to give you tickets faster. Like I watched a person skip mad New York cars and give me a ticket, and it was like I had to move my car by like 8:30. He was there like 8:31, thirsty as
Because they
hell.
think you're not gonna fight it. That's why.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, and you didn't. You know what I mean?
I didn't.
I got.
It's that lingo. It's that government
Baltimore.
lingo that really get people jacked up, right? So we was talking. I'm gonna ask you a question. We was talking. You asked about Trump getting rid of kicking
not the
people off the
congestion.
list.
Off the list. Oh yeah, off of nitro
Right.
and everything.
So like,
They're gonna be there for 2 years.
like one thing, America's like the richest country in the world, but
Okay, my bad. No diddy.
yep, no, America's like the richest country in the world, but it's also the poorest. Like you know what I mean, but it's
'Cause of
good
the debt.
to be poor in America. Like
'Cause you
you
still
can get
living
like
good.
something to
Yeah.
fucking eat every night. Like you don't have to like go kill it
you're
or
not gonna
like
starve.
grow it.
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
you know what I mean. Like people throw away food every day in this country.
fact.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Like shit, we're closed and we got to get rid of all this food.
Food, yeah, for
it's the
real.
rules.
Mission Barbecue does that all the time.
That's government too, though. That's government too. Like having to get rid of all the food at the end of the night instead of going to go give it to poor people. People to do that sometimes, but it's against the law.
Yeah,
right.
The
because
regulations for you to have a business and a health department license to cook food and shit.
You can't get away.
just give it.
That's crazy.
Why? That's stupid. You know what I mean?
They
Like,
say
but there's so
'cause
many hungry
I think
people,
it's to fight against litigation. Cause like say if you was homeless and then you gave me a pizza or something like that and I get sick, I can come back and sue you. So I think that's why they
you
do
get
that.
sued
People
by-
sue
if
for
you get
anything
sued-
nowadays.
If you get sued by a homeless person, you're a piece of shit person. Like,
Where did they get the money to sue you in the first
yeah,
place?
like it's worth it. Like you know what I mean? It's worth
But
it.
it's-
If you
it's
worried
always-
about getting sued, then you're not worried about giving food to homeless people.
Right, that part. So, yo, real quick. So, I want to talk about one thing before we go back into the
Businesses.
businesses. But you work with Greenwood, and it's a co-working space, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you talk about that real quick?
Absolutely. So Greenwood, I want to give a shout out to them because it's it's a black organization, nonprofit organization. They also gonna get the record for being the first collection of black women to own a building in downtown Pittsburgh. Definitely get some horns for that. And I had the pleasure and honor of speaking a former black mayor in Pittsburgh, right? Like in Allegheny County. Right now, it's about to be election time, might change, but we have 8 black mayors in Allegheny County.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
Name a county, name one county in the country. Even in Atlanta, in Detroit, they don't have 8 mayors in it because they're
crazy.
suburb, right? Because Pittsburgh is segmented like that. Pittsburgh should just be one big city,
Right.
but everybody got their own police, their own city council, so on and so forth. But that also creates opportunities. We've already talked about different ways where it's been too much government and the government's good.
Right.
So like it's like a necessary evil. You know what I mean? But what were we talking about?
Greenwood.
Greenwood.
I had the honor of being clipped at. We had the honor had the honor of being invited by a black mayor to speak at Greenwood Week as the authority and the representative for government contracts, which is a blessing and an honor, really. You know what I mean? Because it's all knowledge and information, not being scared to read, not being scared to like. Everything's come with instructions.
Everything. Yeah, for sure.
Read the instructions.
Don't reinvent the wheel.
Like people be asking for grant writers.
And use all the pieces.
And
That's
like a grant writer is somebody who knows how to read instructions.
right.
Like, yeah, there have people who can just like come up with an idea, just put it on paper and just get money. Like Sam Bankman-Fried and like Elizabeth, you know what I mean? Like all of these fraudsters, like you can do that. Like that's a different type of skill.
Right.
But being able to come out here and work with people and really have relationships, because business is all about relationships.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean? Things work
burn a lot of
and
bridges
vibrate
before
off
they
of.
start, but-
And Pittsburgh is the city of bridges.
Yeah.
It's all
literally.
about who you know. And if you don't know the right people, or if the people that you know are not willing to help you, you'll have a rough time here. And that's where a lot of people get into their own thing. But for that reason, Greenwood Week exists because these black women were sitting at these tables and seeing that they weren't being represented, their voice wasn't being heard, and so they went and got their own table.
I like that.
That's what's up.
And
They
that's
went
what
and got
we've
their own
been doing,
table,
for
and
sure.
so I got an opportunity to speak. It was one of my first organized and paid, you know what I mean, social, you know what I mean, hosting events. So that goes back into the hosting business. Shout out to Cultivate Enterprises and just relationships, and her knowing, being a former mayor of Braddock, knowing that we won a contract in Braddock. If you won a $1.6 million contract, you know some shit about government contract. You know about if you won a $1.6 million contract, you know about government contracting.
Yeah, 7 figures, man.
You know, so
So we're gonna go right back into
commas.
the government. Never mind. That's a Fab reference, by the way. We may tend to do that every once in a while.
yeah, so a bunch of New York shit that I don't even know about.
But that's Fab. I mean, yeah, Fab is from New York. Never mind.
Yeah, like,
So
Okay, you about to get into
You taught classes at Greenwood about
taught one class. It was a 1 day shot. You had to be there. It's a 3-day weekend. They got events on Friday, Saturday, a little bit of partying, a little bit of networking, educational. They got everything you need, man. Shout out to Greenwood. We get y'all tickets. It's still on early bird special. Yeah, like.
And when is that? When is that?
That
You know
is
the
in
date?
that's in the fall. That's in October. It's in I did it in October, and man, I wore this goddamn green velvet blazer.
Yeah.
I was in that thing I was on my shit.
Yeah.
I was on my shit in there,
to him.
man.
You know
And,
what I mean?
and I came in there and talked that big money to him. So we might as well just, you know what I mean, just
Government
let that be the
contracts.
segue.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
definitely
Like,
talk about
let
the
that be a
government
segue,
contracts.
right? So the reason why I was selected to, be at Greenwood Week was because we had won a government contract.
Okay.
And the wheels of justice turn slow. The government is slow as hell.
But they always pay out once you sign that contract, though, right? But it's the
They
in
good
between
money.
time.
They good money. Like,
Yeah, it's
they're like,
like-
it's worth their time.
Right,
You know what I
okay.
mean? But you also, you have to budget in. You have to believe that you're in position to go after this thing. Like, niggas didn't went 6 weeks without having money.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
So why you can't do a net 45,
Yeah.
net 30?
Yeah.
You just got to be prepared for that. But
That's a
you know,
fact.
once you sign that
But you,
contract, it's always
even if you're not prepared, the time you had to go 30 days without no money, you wasn't like, oh, I know I ain't gonna get paid.
Right,
I had surgery, so I gotta go and sit down. You 34. You know what I mean? Like, so you're not prepared for these life moments. You might not be prepared for the government contract that you have to go after,
okay.
or that you should go after, but
So this
should.
can you go further into this 1.6 because that was the government contract. Tell us exactly what it was, how that process was for you, and what if we get around to, I may have to ask it again. Like, what are some of the pitfalls people may see or you've seen in your experience doing this?
all right, I need some water. I want to say that too. But
Got you.
I was gonna say.
Those.
That's another New York. This is New York shit. I'm like,
I need one too.
It's
like,
uno
so-
dos. That's it. Just one.
okay,
shit. I need
okay,
one,
one, two,
basically.
okay, boom, boom, okay, yeah, like,
Because you say I need one, he said dos. I could say tres. You know what I mean? 'Cause-
okay,
yeah,
like
it's just
that would be frivolous. That's some New York shit. Like that shit is like, that's crazy culture. That's crazy culture right there.
But
like,
you just catch the vibe sometimes. You know what I mean? Like if he starts
Yeah.
the punchline, and I know that song, I'm gonna follow up with the.
That's a song too.
No. Thank you.
Yeah,
Appreciate you.
like that's off the hook.
Yeah, we just be vibing. You know what I mean? We've known each other since 10th grade school, so
It's
you
been
know, so-
20 years plus.
Yeah, so it's a lot of things that we may say or do that only we know about.
It'd be
You know
crazy
what I
to
mean?
tell people. It'd be crazy to say like, yeah, I know you for 20 years, 25 years. Like,
Yeah, that's
wow,
crazy.
we get
bro.
up there now. Like,
Yeah,
you know
I
what I mean?
think about that all the
Time's
time,
flying, man.
all the time.
When you go back home, I go back to Columbus, and I be see people like, I went to
Yeah.
elementary school with you, bro.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
like, what you doing, bro? Like-
Stomping
You
grounds.
see the same people in the same
Like, bro, I
spots.
remember when you couldn't even read, man. Like, like why you here acting tough tonight, man? I remember when you couldn't even
Right,
read.
real talk.
Like, I was there.
Real talk.
I used to make fun of you when you couldn't read. I was
Hilarious.
unfortunately that kid in school. Like, I go back and apologize to people too.
Yeah, that takes a lot of growth. You know what I mean? Me, I'm not there yet. It's
I'm a
still people
grown
out
ass. You
there.
a grown ass
I
man,
mean,
dog. You
listen,
can apologize.
I mean, I'm not apologizing. They can, you know what I mean? Like I said, I'm not there yet.
Was you
I'm not
bullied?
there yet.
Was you bullied back in the day?
Nah, we was
Them guys?
we was running
In
Yeah, I
10th
can't
grade.
even-
In 10th grade.
Hey,
What about
listen.
in 5th grade?
5th grade. Elementary was crazy. I was in private school in elementary, so it was
Oh,
different.
okay.
But I did get
That's
wrapped
what's
up
up.
in an extortion case. My bad.
In elementary?
Hey yo,
No, you said 5th grade.
Oh shit! Like, yeah, like that's deep.
Yeah, bro.
What?
New York is fast, bro. I mean,
yeah, man, you get into shit real quick.
Yeah,
and you be like,
I
damn,
got-
how I get into this?
Yeah, 5th grade was wild, bro. Because I was always running with the old heads, like the 8th graders and stuff. I ain't gonna tell too much of it, but yeah, I got
that's-
it was crazy. See,
That's different.
like-
That's different.
yeah, bro. You get wrapped up in a lot of things.
Nice to meet you,
early.
brother.
He like checking his pockets.
Shit,
He like, what podcast is this?
Hey, my pants too tight to have fit anything in these pockets. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
All right.
back- yeah, let's get back.
We was on
Government contracts.
Government contracts, the 1.6 contract.
Okay, how did the contract
how
come
did
about?
that
And then you
come
have
about?
did you have any
Okay.
pitfalls?
Correct. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, I mean, you could say a pitfall just waiting. Like, when we first started the project, and I'm still going to get into it, but when we first started the project, interest rates was lower.
Okay.
It was
Yeah,
like
right.
3 years ago.
Yeah, interest rates is
And we got
definitely
selected.
different.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a multi-step process, and there are obviously more simple contracts. There's a lot of things that you can get into that are a lot more straightforward. But there's a lot of places in this country, in the world, where it was once popping. There was once people that worked there, lived there. You know what I mean? There's a lot of towns in Pennsylvania like that.
Like Wilkinsburg. Wilkinsburg used to be thriving, all those stores, and then something happened. I think
Man,
the violence went up. Or
man,
something.
listen,
Shit,
like-
people started
McKeesport was one of them
moving out.
places
So
too.
even so Braddock is a much better place to talk about and start with because the Edgar Thompson steel mill is there.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
still
I didn't know
there.
that.
The
I know
Edgar
somebody in Pittsburgh.
the Edgar Thompson steel mill in 1875.
It's been there since then. That's crazy.
What was going on in 1875, gentlemen?
Slavery,
Segregation,
segregation,
Jim Crow.
Segregation, Jim Crow. No, slavery, cuz.
Slavery.
slavery. Yeah.
I mean,
Slavery, cuz. Like not segregation. That was in 1960.
Yeah.
1960, 1970, there was segregation in Jim Crow.
Technically, slavery was over at that time, but we all
What
know that
what
wasn't.
year did slavery end?
Technically, it was supposed to be 1863.
Okay,
but
that
it
was the
didn't-
Emancipation
but it-
Proclamation.
It didn't end.
No, we know
because they was
that.
Still,
We know
Right.
that. Shit, if you think about even deeper, nigga, slavery's still going on today.
All right. Yeah.
But-
that's a deeper conversation.
Yeah, that's a deeper conversation,
Yeah,
but-
on track.
Okay,
Contract.
so Braddock,
Contract.
that steel mill's been there since slavery ended.
Sheesh.
Okay, so that town was bigger and more of an attraction. People moved from different towns to live close to that place.
Because of work and everything.
That's Andrew Carnegie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's Andrew Carnegie opened that. Henry Frick. You know what I mean? Like people died over that shit. And people, like I said, people moved from West Virginia or New York, like
They came over there to make business.
Come on, steel and oil was founded in this region.
I know a couple Steelers and they're not from Pittsburgh.
Chill.
Y'all gonna kill me. Y'all way too quick with the New York lyrics. Like, that's funny as hell. All right, so Braddock is a perfect town because it was bigger than all of these other towns.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's in the middle. It's in the middle too.
Like 1,500 people live in Braddock now, but more than 1,500 people used to work there.
Damn.
Right, that makes sense.
That's a big drop big drop in population for sure.
You know what I mean? So that's worth talking about. You said McKeesport, Clarendon, West Mifflin. Like, there are steel plants all the way down that river. I'm not gonna go too deep down the river. We had Braddock was trying to revalidate because there's large buildings. There was once industry banks. You know what I mean? Big ass apartment buildings. You know what I mean? Factories. In these places, they're trying to revitalize. The government is getting money from the government, right? Or pause, some New York shit, right? Like, like the government is getting money from the government, and that's funny. The government is getting money from the government, and being able to put money into these projects and into these main streets, and you know what I mean, to try to revitalize these areas. And so it didn't have a number on it. I actually bumped into my brother Cardell Collins. Shout out to Brad. He's in Braddock, owns a building there, owns a club there. Shout out to Club Elegance, formerly Club 804. If you haven't been down there, you definitely need to get down there. Open every day of the week, you know what I mean? 6 to close. You know what I mean? They there. You know what I mean? It's black owned. And I bumped into this brother. We were actually, I gotta say this, we were in a business court. Because oil and steel was founded here in Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh is one of the most resource rich areas in the world.
A lot of history.
In the world. No, I'm not talking about history.
Well, no, people came up here for jobs and everything because of the steel mills.
Man, like, that's history. I'm talking about the money is still here.
Oh yeah, you could be sitting next to a millionaire.
You
know what I'm saying?
And I'm not even talking about the money that the people have. I'm talking about foundations. In Pittsburgh, there's more people that you know that work in nonprofit jobs and are the executive director or want to be the executive director or a canvasser. Like where else they be doing that like here? So no, there's still a lot of the money that was made off that steel and that oil is still here.
Yeah.
Like, that's Rockefeller, that's Carnegie. Like, these are the biggest names in history. That goes back to the history. So I bumped into Cardell. Me and Cardell met in 2014. I still had dreadlocks. We went at a business cohort through the University of Pittsburgh Business School. It's called Entrepreneurial Excellence. They call it something different now, but we met in that class. I was there with my grandmother. Shout out to her. That's the start. You know what I mean? And you know, I was the one I graduated from college, so this is like I understand exactly what they're talking about. Everybody else is an established business person, successful in their own right, but they don't have the tools. They don't have They didn't go to college. They didn't sit in all these classes and hear this shit 10, 20 times over. Yeah. Right. So we met in this class, which was that's money, that's resource. Pittsburgh is a resource-rich area. There's no other place you can go where they got so many programs for people to get their business started, to get their business established, to get resources for their business. There's no other place. I lived in other places. There's no place like Pittsburgh for that type of stuff. And so I bumped into him on a football game. He said he had this contract and a proposal. He said he had a proposal.
Okay.
And you know what I told him? What? I put the P in proposals, not the P in my last name, right? Hey, I put the P in proposals, and I'm in the P and other P. But we ain't gonna talk about that. So, right? No, y'all started it. I'm just matching y'all energy. Like, y'all started it with doing these rap lyrics over my head and whatnot. Like, all right, so okay. But this is how I really felt when he told me.
Yeah. He was talking.
When this established business owner told me he had a proposal to do, I'm like, nigga, I do proposals.
Yeah, that's me.
Like,
that's my area.
I'm Brandon P. Right? I do proposals.
Right.
So they had I'll get straight to it. They had 12. They had 6 properties that they were requesting proposals for. Development proposals, or FDP. They're requesting these proposals, and they ended up only getting 12 submissions.
Okay.
Guess how many submissions that I submitted?
9.
5.
5. Okay.
Right. So almost half I knew I was
was
getting.
just
I'm leaving here with
You
something.
leaving here with something.
I'm leaving here with something.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean? So I submitted 5 proposals, 5 different ideas. We did our selected idea was the co-working space, which is similar to Greenwood Week. They have co-working space there too. It's not it's a non-profit. We be for profit because we all about that paper. You know what I mean? But we had a co-working space with 6. We would have 6 Section 8 apartments above it. Our second idea, which also got selected, but they thought it was too big of an idea, was to have a micro grocery. It was exactly what the community needed. It was a micro grocery store in a food court, okay? And there was going to be 40 apartments. That's what we proposed.
And where was that at? Where was it supposed
In
to be?
Braddock. This
Oh,
was
in
closer.
Braddock.
This was closer to
on
the
the main
steel mill.
Ave?
This was all of this is on the main Ave.
Okay.
And it was closer. It was closer to the steel mill. This was at like 1100 block. It was on like
Yeah, I know
1100
that, yeah.
in the post office.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
to
I'm about
speak
to
your
say.
language, like up that way. But the building that we got selected for is at 106 Braddock. When you come across that bridge, they recently the bridge was closed for a long time, right? But now it's back open. Like that's government money. Like that's the reason why the bridge is nice and there's not a million potholes coming into Braddock
I remember
now.
those.
But they put millions of dollars into that avenue, and we were able to be recipients of it. So we put forth that
Shouts out to y'all
proposal
for that, man.
for the co-working space, the micro grocery store food court in 40 apartment building. We had a celebrate. So this shit was like, I'm so creative. We had Innovation Station, which was a co-working space. Market Station was going to be the food court and the grocery store. Celebration Station was going to be the event space and fitness center. We had Celebration Station, Hollywood Station, which was going to be a movie and co-working space. And the only reason why I wanted to do the movie and co-working space is because I had the pleasure of being on one episode I shot 2 different times with the mayor of Kingstown, which is Money in the Pittsburgh. You know what I mean? They shooting one of the best shows out on TV right now here in Pittsburgh. And I shot and did a shoot in August, and I did a shoot in September on my birthday. Actually, I was like on set for the TV show, and so you know. All of this money is coming into this area. Like I said, it's a resource-rich area. But Celebration, Hollywood Station was going to be a movie studio and full sound stage. Like y'all would be podcasting there if the government wasn't so slow. You know what I mean? Because it would be like the space y'all felt comfortable at, and you know what I mean, could do your things. But also that
Yeah, we're gonna have to circle back with that.
also that the studios could have rented space from Celebration Station. We probably had one more, and it was Libation Station. We was gonna bring a new upscale lounge, you know what I mean, and a restaurant there too. You know what I mean. So these were the ideas that we came from. I think I said we had 5 ideas.
Yeah.
That was, you know what I mean. So that's what we had. You know what I mean. But just being willing to, one, having relationships is who you know. Bumping into this brother that I did class with 7 years ago, 8 years ago, and you know what I mean, like
Reconnect and make business.
Exactly, you know what I mean, and so that's where it came from, and we submitted, it had instructions, so we followed the instructions.
Right.
You know what I mean? I had help. Shout out to my manager. She, you know what I mean, she was a big part of me doing the stand up late nights. You know, having that partner in your life is important. Partnership. That was one of the words you used to open the show. You know what I mean? It's very, very key. Being able to do those things and do it. Because I did one proposal and I was just like, okay, like.
Yeah, you said, but you feel like
yeah.
you need to do
Because the
more.
format was there.
Right.
So now we had to just bring the creativity for the format or the platform.
Recycle it with a new idea.
And it was.
Yeah, that's it. Same
money.
format, different.
Now we
idea.
have the proposals.
So
what's up.
my bad, bro, because I
You
know
good.
you've been trying to ask. No, I was talking to Chad. I
Yeah.
know you've been trying to ask a question, but I got one to follow up. So you basically said there was only 12 proposals, right, submitted, or RFPs submitted, and you had 5 of them, right?
Yeah.
Let's take that a step back, which is, how do you know how to write 5 proposals, right? Like, because like 5 is a lot, you know what I mean? Like you
Yeah.
said, when you got to 1, a lot of people can't even get the 1 to like.
They won't even try.
Right.
They won't even try.
So
They won't even try.
What was your introduction to making RFPs and getting government contracts?
Right. So starting out with my grandmother, I was still in college. She called me one day. I was working at Macy's. I was on break. She called me and she was like,
Macy's too.
Yeah, facts. Like trying to get fly shit on me. So, we worked at, I was working at Macy's and she called me the same day that she called me, this lady stopped me because you had to like dress up and stuff there. This lady called me, she was like, "Are you a pastor?" I'm like, I'm a woman's shoe salesman, woman. But at the same time, that's, you know what I mean? Like, and hopefully we link into that, like, you know what I mean? Like having God in my life and like knowing who I am and God, it helped my confidence. Like that's why I am me. Like a pastor would be. See, if somebody got a big ego and they're like an entertainer and they're selfish, you'll call them like arrogant, like it might be like Kanye West.
Yeah.
But if you say you're this way because of God, people will give you money.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
That's how you flip it.
hey, you know what I mean? Nah, that's the rules. You know what I mean? That is no alternate angle. That is how it works.
Right.
If you know what I mean?
Bring God in, they'll give you some bread.
And not to be fake, like
don't be, y'all be out here trying to scam people.
Yeah, please don't
in
do
the
that.
name of God either. Like,
absolutely
don't
not.
do that.
I mean,
Don't
you
do
can't
that.
like people
Well,
not
I'm
going.
talking about for those.
Yeah,
people,
you can't be out here Reverend Jerry Curl and all that, man. You can't do that,
like
yo.
Don't do that.
that might work though. Like, that might work though. Like that might work though. People are visual. So no, you know what I mean, going after how I learned how to get after the 5 contracts is when I started. My grandmother called me and asked me to come work for her. She'd been doing it for 25 years, 27 years herself, but under one company for 25 years, one of the largest, longest going minority companies in this industry, especially in this region. She sent me the state constitution, the portion of the state constitution that dealt with doing home health care services, doing Medicaid, providing Medicaid services, which is government contracting. She sent me this in a manila envelope while I was still in college. And I had to read all of the regulations. This comes from the state constitution. It's not like, you know what I mean? It's not like a blog.
It's not
you know what I mean?
hearsay.
Like, this is the law.
Right.
This is the law.
That's
Everything,
a .gov website.
everything that comes from everything that's on this site, like how you start anything, a bank, a hospital, anything legally. This is the law.
Yeah.
What you can get a ticket for, you know what I mean? Like, it's a lot to it. But the portion that I learned or that I started, the portion that I started to read was the Medicaid chapter, 611.
And that just happened randomly.
Chapter 28. No, my grandmother.
Oh, 'cause she
my
was
grandmother
in the
had a
Medicaid
grandson
business.
in college.
Okay, yeah, my
she
bad,
invested
my bad.
into this young man, and you know what I mean. He did his thing, and he should have went to the NFL, but didn't. And now I have opportunity to have him come work for me. So 13 years later, I'm here, learning that. Having to read the, starting out, like if you like interview for a job, you want to get a job in college, you're like, okay, I got to start studying this company and figuring out what they do. I started reading it, and I realized that all the shit was the same. Like it was all written.
Like it all had the same blueprint, basically.
Same jargon.
And then,
It's the same jargon. Oh shit! Like you start a bank, like you start a hospital, like you start anything. Like it's all, and it's written down.
right. So you could just refer back to it whenever you need it.
No. You don't refer back to it whenever you need it. This is what you do.
Right. Okay.
You don't just do your thing and like, okay, let me check and see if it's okay. Like, no, it's like, no, you do what it says do and you'll be okay.
Yeah, don't do what I just did.
You know?
That's how you're not gonna get the contract.
learning that, I was able to start my own business, and we could talk about that. But I used that to realize that, hey, what we've been doing in this healthcare business is just like all of this other business that the government does, because you're doing business with the government. Yeah. So if you can stomach reading the legal language for this work and for everything, then you can do anything in this country. America's the greatest country on earth. I don't care what nobody say.
I agree.
You know what I mean? There's probably prettier places.
I would rather live nowhere else but right here.
It's you know what I mean? It's
Shout out to Africa.
there's a dangerous places here, but it's relatively safe.
Yeah.
Like if you know how to move, ain't nothing gonna happen to you.
Yeah, that's a fact.
There's people that ain't never been into a fight or none of that.
Yeah.
Never been robbed. Never had a
kid.
gun pulled out on them.
Good kids. Yeah.
Man, people.
Good people. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you gotta get lucky too.
No, yeah, you got lucky. Also, you need God in your life too, in order to steer you the right way. Had that
and
discernment.
you know what so you don't put yourself in these situations.
That's a fact.
So you don't put yourself into these situations. That's a big thing that we do is don't think before we do something, or you know what I mean, act off what we heard somebody say, and
without
fuck up our
sitting
life.
back and kind of like pondering about it and kind of people, because a lot of people just move off of impulse.
What do they call that? The kids call that crashing out these days.
Yeah, that's definitely
crash out.
Perfect definition of crashing out.
Right? You know.
I work with kids all day, and that's all they talk
do,
about.
Yeah.
We're gonna jump ship though. So I want you to talk about cultivate.
Yeah.
Cultivate
Cultivate with
cruises.
the R.
I definitely seen you a lot on the net in the summer doing your thing on the boats and all that. I know you said the water's clean. That is up
It's
to
safe. I said the water's
That's a
safe.
disclaimer.
Sure.
We are not-
that's up for the people to kind of decide. But I want you to talk to us on how you started that. Is that a partnership? Is that a business?
Mm-hmm.
How did you get into that, and what made you want to get into that? And what can we see from that in the future?
Okay, great question. Thank you for asking. So Cultivate Enterprises, like I said, is entertainment, events, and management.
Right.
And a part of your entertainment business is Cultivate Cruises. You know what I mean? And because we have Three Rivers,
Is Cultivate LLC?
yes.
All right. And then the umbrella company is what is that?
Enterprises.
Yeah, Cultivate Enterprises also LLC. You know what I mean? Like you can get in all different things like trust corporations and everything, but when you starting out, sometimes you don't want to get that analysis paralysis. Like just like do your shit.
Yeah,
a lot of
it's
people just
simple.
don't even do their shit. But file your paperwork, do your research. You know what I mean? Research paperwork, contracts. You know what I mean? You do it like that, right? And you'll be all right. So we realized that, you know what I mean? Like, actually, it started during the pandemic. A lot of, like you said, it's like this podcast started during the pandemic. Everybody looking for different things to do. We're on the trails, riding bikes on the trails. While we're riding bikes, we're white people on their boats having a great time.
Yeah.
Always
Turned
done
up.
that. Always done that.
Turned up.
Jumping in the water, throwing each other beers.
That's what they do. Though.
I'm like, oh shit.
Shit, we could do that too.
Yeah, real talk.
Man, I would be having way more fun than them. And they're tripping. But I would be, I know, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, they're having a good time out there. So that was 2020. I think I got my first boat in 2021. Maybe it was 2022. Yeah, 2022, because it was only a few years, you know what I mean? So like, once you scratch that itch and you out there, like the water is ultimate freedom. Like driving on the road is freedom.
You need a license for that?
Yeah, you do need a license. But you can like you can just you can just apply for it. If you driving a motor powered vehicle over 20 horsepower, you need a license. You know what I mean? You can row your boat out there with no license. But if you got to put keys in that thing and it go, you got to have a license.
All right, cool.
So you started it in 2022. What is the plan for in the next couple of years? I mean, do you have one boat? How many boats do you have?
Okay, so we actually own 3 boats, right? We got 3 boats. We got one on the water that we rent out.
In your fleet, man.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's partnership. That's what we was talking about, right?
Yes,
and so shout out to Brianna White, my partner on that. Like we were in a relationship, and I was just like we was riding bikes together. Like that was like one of our first days. Like we gonna ride bikes.
Yeah.
Like boom, and then we ended up doing like 10 miles. Yeah. You know what I mean? Which is like crazy, but it's like ride bikes for 3 hours. Like you know what I mean? Like just ride the bike.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's so
You know
nice
what I mean?
down there in Carmen, you won't even notice you did 10 miles.
Man, it's a whole different, you know what I mean? It's a different experience. So just
Right,
just being in, whether it's working out at the gym, like being into your health and your body is a great thing.
Absolutely.
But, you know what I mean? So we were riding bikes out there. We seen the people on the boats. We're like, you know what I mean? And my uncle, I got to give a shout out to my uncle. He got me in the boat and put me on my first boat.
Yeah.
Let me drive.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? So that's a big thing. So, but that's how it got started. We realized that, hey, if we get a boat, we can't just get any old boat.
Yeah, you gotta get something nice.
Especially if you're trying to do business too. Like,
Right.
You know what I mean?
You
Like, you
some
can
people to say it, all that.
you know what I mean? So we went out and got something with all white leather, low miles, got a sun top on it, sun rooftop. You know what I mean?
Nah,
like,
we don't know that song though.
like, oh, and then you know that song. That's how you look at me. You knew that song, but that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Like, you know what I mean? Like, funny is that.
Yeah.
That's good.
We gonna have
That's
fun
good.
with this. Yeah.
That's what I told you. Like, we're gonna break. I ain't saying it on camera. Like we're gonna break the views record with this one. You know what I mean? Y'all gonna be
can't
enjoying
wait.
this.
I hope y'all having fun, man. This is real.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Like this is yeah. And I'll be back too. Like, so what we expect from it, I'll be succinct. I'll wrap it up because I haven't been succinct. But what we're expecting to do is to be you know what I mean, one of the biggest water tourism countries, one of the biggest water tourism companies in the country.
Yes,
because
sir.
there's water all around this country. There's black people all around the country. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? To be able, you can people rent boats in Pittsburgh every day.
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely
for sure.
people rent boats, jet skis, all types of stuff. Yeah.
Every day. You know what I mean? Like, even when it's called the Gateway Clippers still out there, like, people rent boats in Pittsburgh every day. You know what I mean? So it's an untapped market, and you know what I mean? And could be a way to segue back into the government contracting, is that people spend too much time copying off each other.
Right.
Doing,
And it gets saturated.
you know what I mean? Doing what they seen somebody else do. So, you know what I mean? I like to get into things that have a little bit higher barrier to entry. So you can't just like wake up tomorrow and
go
sell
start
my
it.
shit.
Yeah.
Like, you can't do the Mr. Rice tomorrow.
Yeah, I had a
take a
question
while.
before we went into that,
Yep.
but you talked about like how you're innovative and everything, and we had a short conversation last week about like how when you walk into different spaces, like you just always see a dollar sign, you see money, or you see a way that we can do that, and then not being saturated. You know, like we talked about, like people always want to open up a bar or always want to open up a
Home healthcare agency.
healthcare agency.
Yeah.
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like
yeah.
everybody
Everybody,
does
mama got a
it.
home health care agency.
But we had spoke about like sometimes you don't need to open up, like you don't need to do a sales business like that, like a person to person. You want a contract at like a prison or a hospital or like a any big entity that gives you government contract,
Right.
i.e.
Or
you get
business.
them
It don't even have to be the
business.
government.
Right.
Businesses, it take money to make money.
Right, but you
So like
start
all
a
these businesses,
toothbrush company, you know what I mean, and then you sell it to the hospital, you know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah,
You sell
yeah.
it to the prisons and stuff
Yeah.
like that, or like we talked about toilet tissue, and people think like people are not doing these things, you know what I mean? They're already taking what's like you said, what everybody's doing. You're not gonna make any money that way. Like it's only, you know what I mean? Like in certain markets and in certain areas, I just believe like there's just a cap, right?
Yeah,
there's a
Certain
ceiling for
things,
everything.
There's a
Facts.
ceiling. So
Absolutely.
you keep doing that same thing, everybody, you ain't gonna get nowhere. Be
you ain't gonna.
innovative,
It'll
be
be.
different.
You'll be lucky to get further than that person that you seen.
Right, exactly.
Like,
exactly. They
like,
may make it look good, but
that's unfortunately in Pittsburgh. That's the goal. Is to do
to
better
copy?
Than the next
to do-
person?
Yeah, Pittsburgh. Me and Bree, we say that we call it the Pittsburgh. When somebody copy off your shit, we call it the Pittsburgh. Like, 'cause that's just what people do here. Like, they see somebody. You like,
sweet.
people don't do things for the right reasons because it's like, this is what I want to do. This is what I care about. It's like, no, they look like they making money. I can do that.
right,
And you want to one up them or something.
Yeah, so that ends up being the only goal, is to do better than the person that you saw doing it.
Yeah.
You're not even thinking about all the people that really need help, all the people that you could help, all the lives you can change. You just like,
your
I want to
vision's-
have more money than the person I used to work for.
Yeah, the vision's out the
selfish.
window because you lose all the passion. You lose all the vision. You don't have no vision because your vision is to get to be better than one person, whereas you can service 1,000, 1,000,000 people. You know what I'm saying? So that's a shame.
Yeah, but you know, product of our environment. And so, okay, so on that point, like, why? And I love that a lot of the things that I say all the time. That's what I know. Like, you know, I mean what I say. Like,
you're passionate about it.
Right? So, like, why? Your goal, your plan to make money is to sell products and services to poor people.
Yeah, you're not gonna win because the poor, like it's
Like-
only gonna go but so far. That's
But
gonna
like, but that,
plateau.
like that's like most business models. Like, people be in which is the right spirit, but the wrong plan and the plan of action.
it's
It's
not
like,
this playing the scale basically.
like not even scale. Like, people be wanting to like sell shit to their family members and friends.
Yeah, that ain't gonna go nowhere.
Yeah, it's a cap on that too.
And then those
That's
family and
you will
friends,
fail.
Those friends and family,
Like,
are not
nobody like
obligated
made
to
it big. Like, you
spend money. With
If you're relying on that, yeah, you definitely gonna fail. That's a
yeah,
fact.
they're like, as
That's
soon
a
as they ain't
fact.
got no money, they're not gonna give you theirs. And that's how people work. So, to make it educational, B, to see is when you're a business and you sell stuff to everyday people. I cut hair, I do lashes, I cut grass, I provide a service to people. I'm usually a solopreneur, sole proprietor even, right? Like I'm doing this by myself, hustling. That's a business model. That's, all the different type of industries and everything, that's a business model. If it's unstable because the person, if my car breaks down, if I blow a tire, or I need my oil changed, I'm not about to get my hair cut.
Right.
Like I'm not,
unless you got your priorities messed up.
I'm not getting Mr. Rice massage this month if my cable's about to get cut off. I'm not getting your, you know what I mean? So if you provide a service to an everyday person, people have the highest expectations. They want the most.
Right, all the time.
And they have the smallest budgets.
Yeah, entitlement.
So let's move on, right? So now B2B is when you sell your product or service to a business.
Business to business.
Right? When you do that, there's a lot more stability there. And the reason why, because there's
bulk,
still, right?
Like a lot of times they buy in bulk in more quantity. But go ahead.
Because they got it, because they trying to make money.
Right, exactly.
So off of that, and I also, if my goal is to make this money, I need you.
Right.
Like some people don't need their haircut. At some point you get there and be like, I need a cut. But you can it's not an everyday thing.
Yeah, no.
What do people spend? What do people spend money on every day?
Gas.
Okay, gas, food,
yeah. Tissue.
Come on, man. Come on, man. We gonna get there.
You know
we gonna get
mean?
there. That's what I'm talking about. And so, yes, if you sell your product or service to a business, it's much more stable because I can't just if you say the wrong shit to me, and I'm not gonna let you cut my hair. I'm not coming to the shop.
Right. I'm gonna find a new barber.
Yeah, you rub me the wrong way.
Right. If I work there, I don't even own the place. It's my job to get you to come here and do this. And you say the wrong thing to me, what can I do? I can plan on getting somebody else, but it's not even my choice. Right, it might be no, his price is better. That's my cousin, my nephew. We're not getting rid of him. So business to business is way more stable because I can't just because I'm not feeling good. I can't not give you your money.
Yeah,
right.
That's also against the law.
Right.
There's a law against that. If you do business with the government, there's a lot more law and regulation, and that's where I started my career at in regulation. Reading the state constitution about how you run these businesses, how you start these businesses. Doing that helped me realize that a lot of people not finna read this jargon. A lot of people not gonna sit down and read this 160 pages, 300 pages.
If you want to hide something from somebody, you put it in the book.
Right in the middle of the pages. I might read the beginning and I might think I'm smart and I'm gonna go skip to the end. I read the book.
That middle part was essential.
Yeah.
That was the whole book. I was just thanking my family and friends and you know what I mean, and closing up all my loose ends at the end. Right. So doing business with the government, that B to G, doing business with the government is it opens up so many doors because the government buys everything.
Absolutely,
yes, they
need everything.
We talked about toilet paper. I used to say that all the time on Wealth Wednesdays, at Wealth Wednesdays. It's just that who sells toilet paper? All these different people that have businesses, ideas, they got money, right? But everybody wipes their ass.
Everybody.
It's unthinkable.
And if you don't, you dirty.
Right?
Super filthy.
It's unthinkable that you would go to any type of public building. You can go outside. People don't even take shits outside. Yeah, our people, don't take shits outside. And what? But if you go in that bathroom, there's gonna be toilet paper in there though.
Hopefully.
No.
I mean, at your crib, yes.
Not like a gas station. A gas station is not. That's not a regulated business in that way. Right. They're not. It's not against the rules to not have toilet paper.
You go to court, they're gonna have tissue in that.
You go to the hospital, they're gonna have tissue.
Yeah, exactly. So I got a good question for you, right? So we mentioned this new administration, Trump, the whole DEI situation, and me and Chaz have lately been going back and forth with different ideas about whether it's good or bad, the DEI thing, but in your experience, whether there is DEI or no DEI, have you noticed a difference in the type of government contracts that you've been able to see because you're Black or minority-owned business? Has any of these laws or policies or executive orders directly affected your business?
Okay, so
I know, right?
Like I said, it's a good question because, like, so I haven't talked about it off camera about when I started my business or start my business.
Mm-hmm.
Trump was the president.
Okay, back in 2019.
2016.
2016.
When I started.
Okay. When you started.
2019 was about when it was over.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
and so when and I don't believe it wasn't because of Trump, but when Trump was in office,
Things were good.
I had that bag, okay? He had a lot of money.
I bought 2 houses in the Trump administration, so I get you. You know what I mean? But that's not everybody's experience. You know what I'm saying? So everybody didn't get to win. But go ahead, finish.
No.
'cause you
I
the
did
one with
this.
the government
I did this.
contracts.
It's cold in here, man. Shit, man. I ain't talking till they turn the heat on. It's workplace rights. That's government. Y'all can't treat me like this. Y'all can't treat me like this.
Yeah,
you
because
know?
it's just kind of loud, but it might give it feedback.
But we'll be all right.
Yeah, we'll be all right.
Shit.
It's your show.
All right, cool. Because I got my shoes off. You got this nice house and shit. You know what I mean? I had to take my shoes off when I walked through the door. But my toes is cold and shit. And I got my shirt open.
How I was like a couple episodes ago.
But being cute comes at a cost. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to be cute, then you know what I mean. You might be uncomfortable. You might be cold. You probably will, right? If you want to be comfortable, then you won't be cute.
Right,
you know what I mean?
100%.
So your choice. But no, okay. So no, I have not seen a difference in the government contractors that are out there because it's business. It's not political. Like they spend the money. Like that is the government.
Right.
Spend the money. They got people's jobs either to manage the money or just spend the money.
My fault, bro, too.
Like you could
Put it to the side.
all right, cool.
Yeah.
Yep. You know what I mean? Like you spend the money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so that's the name of the game, and that's what's so great about America. It's like it's the whole game is to spend the money and do business,
Right.
so you can get taxes and you know what I mean.
All
It's
tax
like
breaks, you get everything
like
you need.
that's what they do.
Right.
And when the government, you see, if you say like we were saying when we talk about business to consumer B2C, when we talk about like it's like when people get problems and it's tough times, they're not spending their money with you. When it's tough times, the government spends more money.
Yeah.
Like that's the game. It's not like I feel like they're gonna do it. It's like no
that's just
with a
the
recession,
model.
that's why this is
money,
right. So if you read the rules, if you read the instructions and understand what's going on, these government contracts is not so intimidating. So that go to answer the last question that I didn't answer. Is that like that's what made me confident that I can do 5 contracts. Because I understand the language. I read it. I read it enough time to see like it's the same way like when the judge read section it's just the law. It's the law. They wrote the bank laws and
so it's safe to say that the qualifications for government contracts do not depend on the color of your skin or how you how you moving because they don't know the color. They don't know. They just see a business name.
Yeah,
and
you
that's
gotta
it.
have so you gotta have what's called a capability statement. You know what I mean? So you gotta have the capability statement. It's like a resume for your business. You know what I mean?
Okay, sure.
It has your industry codes on there. It has your name, your history, past clients, and you can make it as colorful and as descriptive as you want to. You know what I mean? But it's mostly like a 1-pager. It's like not
Something quick
not
and
your life
simple.
story.
Right.
Like yeah, because we don't
Little
care.
flash.
Because it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's not a proposal.
Yeah.
It's a resume, and resume should be the same way. I don't care where you worked 20 years, 15, 10 years ago. Like, care when you was a cashier. Tell me what I need to know. And if you want to do good with the government, you have to just give them what they're asking for.
Nothing more, nothing less.
A lot of times people forget that though.
Like,
Or
dude,
people don't
they just
do
don't
that.
know. They just don't know.
Yeah.
So they feel like the more I talk and tell you about how great I am, the better I'll be.
Right.
I didn't ask you that.
Yeah, I definitely asked you that.
Like,
I asked you one question.
Like, you know what I mean? I did not ask you that. So, you know what I mean? And sometimes I had to say that, I gotta remind my boss that like, she be like, should we share this too? Like, no. They didn't ask for it. They get like, it's like A through E. This is what they wanted. Just give them that and nothing else.
Why do you think people are intimidated to, go pursue a government contract?
It's just what we've been talking about. Is just the reading. Like people just do not want to read. I mean, in some cases they have bonding. We have to be bonded. We have to be established business. But that's also just laziness. Like people not wanting to do shit the right way is causing them from being rich and you know what I mean. Like
I mean, we do live in a microwave society where people want stuff instantaneously. So therefore, you got to be able to put the work in. You know what I'm saying? Have some backing and, do your research.
And, and so even, it's because I wasn't even thinking about the generational divide because when I'm thinking about business, I am thinking about an older class of people. People that take themselves seriously, people that have figured it out. And you got to do that. Like, you know what I mean? I see some, some 21-year-olds and 25-year-olds like, oh, this is what I'm doing. This is how it's going to be. And I'm just like.
No, that's not the way it is. If you have that mindset, then you're not really gonna win.
You know what I mean? And it's different because they do live in a different society. Like they have like 19-year-olds that are like super rich, or at least seemingly super rich. Yeah. You know what I mean? And they're like just getting rich for like I see the little clip from Kai Cenat, and they said they were just like Dennis Duke, this old ass nigga, walked into the room and grabbed some food from one of the other young niggas. I'm like, these are a bunch of grown men. I didn't know they was in the same house. They were streaming together, but it's like
AMP. They all in different rooms of the mansion.
Yeah,
like
I think they're in Jersey or something.
Like y'all sitting here, like y'all just sitting here playing a game all day. Again, like y'all fucking up this generation. Like,
but they get paid a bag to do that.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
and that's horrible.
Yeah,
I'm not hating their bag.
But they give a false sense of reality for everybody else.
Exactly.
So I get what you're saying.
Mean,
like
not really, because
no, like three black men sitting around. Like
so that's what I'm saying. What he's saying,
like
basically
playing the game, like
so people think they can do the same thing. They don't see the work that's going on behind the
now them niggas is having different businesses and like doing better, like getting a different.
I've been doing this like over 10 years. Like,
which is for a minute.
Yeah, which is but who been doing something for 10 years?
Nobody really.
Like,
it's hard to stay consistent for most people.
People just want to do something for a year or whatever.
Because I did it because I seen you doing it and you was winning.
Yeah, most businesses
I didn't win. I keep losing. Oh no, I'm done. I'm done with this. You know what I mean? That's why most businesses don't last past 5 years, and that's why it's such a pleasure that my grandmother been doing it for 25 years. You know what I mean? And so, but even with that, you know what I mean? Because of today's society and like you know what I mean? Like when it comes to like courses and different things like that, like you know what I mean? You hear that's the internet. Like that's like it's almost like it's entertainment in a sense.
Right.
It's not business.
Stop paying
There's
for
an
courses,
entertainment. Yeah and no. Because I started
if it's gonna get you somewhere, it's gonna get you somewhere, then but
I'm talking about those things when you scrolling on Instagram and you just see it.
Yeah, I haven't got.
Oh, this is how you do the bird strategy. I'm gonna charge you $500. No, silly, pick up a book and it's gonna tell you all the information you need for free.
Or go YouTube.
Like man, there's so much content out here, and that's shout out to y'all for making content because at the end of the day, a lot of people haven't been exposed to technology in that way. You know what I mean? Like that's culture, right? Like not like I'm very fortunate to have grown up with a computer in my house.
Right, yeah, me too.
Me too.
Like I was on AOL.
Yeah, me
like
too.
Elementary school.
We was talking about that.
I was in 5th grade. AOL,
I remember
ASL, A6 locations. Like in chat rooms. Like you know what I mean? Man, come on, man. I haven't talked about this in a minute though, but I've you know what I mean. Think about where we was at with Black Planet. And how you had to make your page. Like if you to make your page, you had the code. You had the code to
speak
make
about MySpace. We talking about that too.
Like
shout out to Emil Cook. He runs a boot up program for young
Emil
adults
Cook.
from the ages of 5 to like so all ages from like starting at like 5, 6, and he does it right there in Wilkinsburg. And he does just that, like teach kids about technology for free.
Man, that's so dope. Because like I said, where we was at when when we was doing that, like to get we had marquees and the music, like and we wasn't even paying for the music, right? Like you know what I mean? Like, we had it on our computer, maybe we pay, you know what I mean? But like we come up on that LimeWire era,
LimeWire, FrostWire,
Napster, and all that. Yeah, that was a good time.
Crazy viruses though.
Old shit, bro. Like nigga never downloaded one song on Napster ever.
Nah. Yes, you did. You could download songs,
I guess it would be
programs,
no,
movies.
I'm not saying no. I'm not saying people didn't. I'm saying that I didn't. That's like hanging out with them old heads, like Napster.
Yeah. I had
It's
that.
like-
I had that.
Napster. No, that's that OG, like,
Yeah,
you know
that
what I
was
mean?
before
Like,
LimeWire.
Yeah, for sure. That was before that.
Yeah,
But
that's
it's the
definitely
same
before that.
technology. But the same technology,
same
right?
concept, yep,
And so, you know, like that's why people are intimidated is because the lack of exposure.
Right.
Right. I started my professional career being exposed to regulations, licensing, audits. Right. So if an audit come, I'm not scared. I'm not like thinking like it's not like a raid.
Yeah, you've been here before.
No,
Like
you've
you're
been
not
here
about to
before.
go to jail. You're not about to go to jail. Like that's not like this is the health
Yeah,
department.
that's not the first thing.
Like they- you
Not
know
the
what I'm
health
saying?
department.
Like-
It's
He said,
hilarious.
throw away them files. So,
No, it is the health department because all the licenses come from the health department.
See, I didn't know that.
Like
for the home
most
health.
of them, like
Yeah.
not just for the home health, food.
for sure.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Yeah, for
Like
sure.
you know what I mean? Like the health department is over a lot of shit,
Okay.
and you know what I
didn't
mean?
even think
Like
about that.
yeah, it's government. It's government. You know what I mean? And so you know people really are just intimidated. It's culture that. The government is bad. Like the only experience I have with government is you locking my people up.
Right.
Yeah.
See, we was talking about that too.
You know what I mean? Like
yo,
this-
real
that-
quick, because I know we on government contracts, but we talked in our last episode. We talked about an interesting concept, right? Which was the DEI situation. A little bit, not really into that, but Chaz made a statement, which is like, "Yo, when we were growing up, it was because I say America's not racist. I say people in America are racist." But I don't think America's racist.
Yeah.
So individual, you know what I mean? To me, it's the same concept as, guns are not bad. People that use the bad, you know what I mean? People who use guns to do bad things, what makes guns bad. But his thought process was like, yo, if I was standing on the block, you know what I mean? Cops run down on me because I was black, or was it because I was doing something illegal? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
which one is it though?
Yeah,
if
like,
If
no,
I
man,
put
black
myself in that
people,
situation.
black people are prone to illegality, like,
But we put ourselves in these situations.
but
a lot of
put
time.
like,
not all the time.
no, like it's your environment, like
That too.
like,
That too,
like
yeah.
what, like, yeah, it's like you know what I mean. And I'm about self accountability, but like I'm just thinking about like the standing out front of the bodega type shit, right? Like,
Bodega.
like where else you gonna be?
Catching on.
Yeah.
Like,
We got him to New
Yeah,
York.
you
We
feel
took
me?
him out of Pittsburgh for a
No,
little
yeah,
bit.
now I know y'all niggas is from New York though, so you know what I mean. So I'm just like, I know how to assimilate, code switch, and all of that.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Right on
It's the
time
same
with it.
shit.
You
Like,
right on time.
so and y'all started it.
Yeah, nah.
Like I just want to say that, like y'all started it with the over the head shit. Like, so I gotta get y'all back.
Yeah.
So okay, so you standing out there, it's like not because you want to break the law, like you want to be with the cool people. They might be breaking the law.
Trying to feed your family.
You know what I mean? Like, not like, no, we got
Or
to
get
start
fly.
calling out the drug dealing and shit. Like, especially now because people die from drugs. Like,
Yeah, it's
like it's
a
not
bunch of
like
bad drugs
it's
out
not
there.
all fun. It's not just partying.
No, it's not.
Like it's probably fentanyl.
Yeah.
Like you're probably gonna like you can't like for that to be your legacy.
Yeah, that's
Man,
that
last
ain't it.
last 2 years, I went to probably about 5-6 fentanyl funerals.
Yeah. I went to a couple.
Like, and then nobody never want to say why the person died.
Yeah,
If they don't say why they died, it was fentanyl.
it's crazy. I believe
That's
that too.
real. Cause what would we?
It's a fentanyl
Oh, you didn't have a
epidemic
heart
out here.
attack? Cause they didn't
Yeah.
even say it. Like,
Yeah.
car accident, suffocation,
I hate to say it. but
died in their sleep.
I think
Yeah.
it's fentanyl.
You would even say died in their sleep.
Or
if
somebody
you
get
could
shot or something like that.
Yeah, like it'd be crazy when somebody don't get shot. You ever had that happen? You'd be like, damn, who shot him? And they'd be like, no, he died from. You know what I'm saying?
It make you want to question things, yeah.
Like, but it was crazy. Even me saying it, I was saying it like it's always been happening. But when they haven't died from guns, it was drugs.
Or both of it.
Like niggas don't be like. I mean, no. Like a lot of people died from COVID. Like you know what I mean. Like you know what I mean. But like I don't know nobody.
Oh, I mean,
I know somebody that died during COVID.
I really mean
though.
a jab, though.
Oh,
I mean
like
that.
oh.
I'm a firm believer in that, but
You gonna get
that's
us
a whole
you gonna get
nother-
us locked down, bro.
That's a whole nother conversation.
Man, y'all is.
I said the
y'all on
jab.
some high level shit.
Yeah.
Man.
Nah, because we talk about that. We talk about that all the
Y'all got
time.
that
Like,
slang shit, like a jab. Like I don't know, man.
but we talk about that all the time. Like, it's been so many like mysterious deaths. You know what I'm saying? Like people just passing
Hamlin.
away, and then you like
Hamlin,
the
Bronny,
You,
like-
you talk
All
about
these
the
drugs.
underlining.
Like
What's the underlining? Like Did you take the jab or?
Like people don't just
Fentanyl is one or the other.
like like people don't just die, like, you know what I'm saying? Like
People
like,
just don't die for
It's just
real.
like and it's the same way with violence. Like people be talking about, like, you know what I mean? Like especially Pittsburgh. This is not no city where you just be walking down the street, somebody gonna shoot you in the head.
You gotta be into
Shit
some
like-
shit to
Yeah,
get
you
shot.
gotta-
Yeah, like-
definitely.
yeah, like,
it's
just
the
be-
Wild
like,
West,
it's like-
but you definitely got to be
like-
into some moving funny.
Yeah, like when somebody just run down on you and kill, like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, there's wrong time at the wrong place.
rare,
but,
for sure.
But like you said, like, yeah, like it's just not like like people be talking mad shit and they don't be getting shot. Like this is the country of law, it's a rule of law. Still king here. Like
Yeah.
like
So
unless
we
you- unless you're the
gotta
president.
segue.
Unless
We
you're
got to
the
segue. We like
Where we
an
at?
hour and
I know he's an hour and change.
15 minutes in, so we probably only got like 30 minutes on it. But
Let's get
I
some
do
light. You
want
want
to
to
talk.
get some? You want some lighthearted stuff, or you still?
I got some more stuff, man. I got a
Go
lot
ahead.
more stuff for real that
Give
we
me
didn't
three.
even tap into yet.
ahead, go
So
ahead,
we
go
were
ahead.
talking about the
Rapid
government.
fire.
Yeah, we were talking about the government contracts or whatever. But you know, government contracts extend out to a lot of things, right? Even towards housing. So I wanted to switch over to the real estate game.
Yes.
So basically, you're not a realtor, but you own
Right.
multiple properties.
Yeah.
And some of your properties have people that own Section 8 in those. So I'm a property manager. You know, I also do like tax credit. I do project based portable voucher, and I just do straight up conventional housing too. But so I'm familiar with all those aspects. But can you speak to the benefits of having government contracts for housing and how that's worked out for you, and more importantly, how that played out during COVID? You know what I mean?
Right.
Because a lot of people couldn't work, couldn't pay their bills and everything like
rent
that.
moratorium and,
Right,
and all
right,
of that.
right. So
So I mean, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Like, you know what I mean? So if it's not like, I mean, there's probably some things that's probably not best to do with the government if you just want to make money or what, you know what I mean, whatever your goal is. But like, government contracting really touches all of these different areas. And no matter what product or service you sell, that's the point that we're trying to get across here tonight. Is no matter what product or service you sell, the government probably buys it, use it, even if it's not in a direct way.
Right.
Like, oh, you got to get a contract here and da da da. The money all flows from the Fed.
Feds, right?
Like it just all, you know what I mean, and they collect it back too. But Section 8 is, I mean, for us, like we started it. We started it right as the had some properties, but intended to flip them and different things like that. And by the time we really got the money, but it goes, you know what I mean? It goes, it kind of goes, it goes both ways. Like, you know what I mean? Like the money that came from the like the rental assistance, like, you know what I mean? Like the money that they put up for all of that and help people with their rent, like all of that helped too.
Yeah.
But having Section 8 tenants, and that was needed for some of our private tenants. And when I hear somebody say private landlord, that just means you don't want to pay your rent. Like when you say private landlord to me, I just be like, like, you know.
Why you feel that way?
Well, just because because I'm a government contractor and I know how to get my money. And I know that the county is going to send me my money on the first.
Gotcha.
Every time. I wake up, the money's there. I don't have to call. I don't have to ask.
And
I don't
that's
have to
one
care
thing.
about your nephew.
Once you execute that contract with them, they're gonna pay you. As
Yeah,
long
you
as
just
you're
gotta
not doing
keep the
nothing
house. You just gotta
fraudulent,
keep the
it
house.
code.
Get them up to code.
Pass that
You know what I mean?
HQS
And there's a lot of
inspection and you
people.
good.
There's a lot of people in a lot of houses and a lot of places that are not up to code, and for whatever reason, whether it's just relationship, time they've been in the program, the inspector. There's a lot of people that live in shit ass housing. So
Yeah,
there's probably,
slumlords.
you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? There's probably a lot more people. There's probably a lot more residents who don't want to live in Section 8 properties. And there's a difference between the voucher program and straight public housing.
Yes.
And it's like
the difference-
public-private housing
So it's
too.
like the voucher is portable, project basis, like that where the subsidy stays with the house. So like if
Yeah.
you leave, you don't get to keep
that rent.
But you can apply for it, and depending on the program, you can apply for it. Like if you're in a project based house and you decide to leave, you can request for a portable voucher because you've already been on the program.
That's crazy. Like in New York, I mean, just like regular people just live in the projects. Like here, like where I like the places I've grown up, like they don't like the projects have all been converted. You know what I mean?
We still
lot
got
of-
high rises and
But
everything.
the thing about the high rises,
yeah.
people have been in apartments for years, and it's like grandfathered in. So like like your peoples might have lived in there, and then now you kind of took over.
Got the spot still, yeah.
But I had a question.
Regular, but like I'm saying, like regular ass people don't just live in the projects. Like that's unique ass circumstances. Like, if you can get a free crib,
I don't know.
Free crib is a free crib, or like if it's like if the rent's like 200.
Yeah.
It's rent like 200 still.
It's
like
definitely niggas that got BMWs and Benzes and all that still living in the P's, man.
But it's a reason. But
that's the same point for real.
Nah,
for real.
I
Like
mean,
that's different. Like it's different.
But I was gonna ask you about Section 8 tenants. Like, is there do you feel like it's a risk with them like,
tearing up the property?
Yeah.
I think that's a stereotype.
Yeah,
I think that could be too. That's why I want to know. Yeah.
Like you say, property management, like you.
It's a stereotype because just like someone on Section 8 can mess up your house, someone who pays up straight cash
that's a fact can mess up
your house too.
And if somebody on Section 8, if somebody on Section 8 ruin your house, like you may get your money back, you may not, but they're getting kicked out the program.
Right. I was about to say that that will affect
their
stuff.
Yeah,
if you report them,
due diligence,
and they're gonna lose their money, and now they have to pay rent. They can't pay rent, and they're not gonna have nowhere to live.
So real quick before we get too far away, how did the government or Section 8 housing benefit you during? Oh well, you explained that because you said you get the money on the first.
You got access.
And so even when people didn't have to pay their rent, the government still paid. The government didn't say, "Well, we don't have to pay our rent," because the law says we don't have to pay our rent. You know what I mean? So it's still there. And to go to that point about Trump cutting the money, like it'll trickle down. All the money flows through from the Fed, so it's a trickle down. So I don't know how much money the United States government gives Allegheny County Housing Authority, but it's all still under HUD and
correct.
You know what I mean? Like Section 8 is the part of the United States Constitution. Like that's why it's Section 8, because it's Section 8 of this part. Like we was talking about in the beginning. And so people act like, and then it comes to, I guess we have to get political. We've been talking about the government the whole goddamn time.
Yeah,
right?
Sure.
So people act like voting's not important or it's just like no big deal, but it's like, if the wrong Secretary of Housing get in there,
and they switch
or
some
Secretary
shit up.
of Agriculture get in there, and now there ain't no more stamps.
Yeah,
that's gonna affect people.
Because even if you don't get food stamps, you live with somebody or somebody cook you food that get food stamps.
That's right.
That's a fact.
So you don't even know what type of, harm is coming. So we can't, right? So but in the same way we talk about culture and exposure, the people who understand that vote will probably be more. If you don't vote, you ain't getting no government contract unless you just think you're smarter than everybody.
Yeah, you got people like that too.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely got people like that too.
But if you understand how business, and you know what I mean, government work together, especially in this country, then you realize the power of your vote.
Right,
like you realize that, okay, I got to do this. I would like to see this person in there. Had a conversation with them. Their views are in line with this. Trump, you know what I mean? Trump bad for people, but you know what I mean? It's good for money, good business.
See, I don't think that's true, man. I'm not trying to get into that, but
you kind of already did. You already asked me how Trump cutting the money.
But yeah, because a lot of people. This is going to be. I got to get into it. So, I think DEI is a ploy to think for black people to think they need that shit. We've been getting contracts and doing our own thing way before DEI. So to think that, all these policies and changes are only affecting us is crazy. And to think that you don't hear the Asians, you don't hear the whites, you don't hear the Spanish
but
people.
But it affects them too.
It does, but I think we're the loudest about it.
You feel like you're the only ones complaining about it.
We're the largest population.
But at
like
the same time,
we here.
But here the thing is though, like you just explained you just on this platform said that, I follow the rules and regulations from A to Z, and it is not affecting me. I think so. In that mindset, I think what people think is just like, oh, I'm not getting this because I'm black, or I'm only getting locked up on a block because I'm black. Like it's not about race every time. It's not about race every time.
I mean, yeah, I hear. Okay, yes, you're right. Every incident, every illegal stop and frisk and shit. That's that New York shit, right? Like, that's like niggas getting walked, like, like you know what I mean? Like that's y'all shit.
Stop and frisk is the thing.
You feel me? Them big ass rats and shit, right?
Yeah,
like
that's still happening too.
They be in Baltimore too. I see yo, I ain't get off track. But no, I feel you on what you're saying, but this is still America.
Yeah.
So the culture is racist.
Yeah.
Black people are racist. We hearing the same shit that's supposed to
Talk to
turn
'em.
white people against black people. And
We doing the
like, what
same
fuck,
thing.
How we
doing the
not?
same
How we
thing.
not? It's programming. It's programming. How we not gonna do it? If
Yeah.
everything they telling you about us, everything you see is scary, rob, kill.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Negative.
Spin the block.
How you not gonna feel like, oh, fuck that nigga, or you know what I mean? Like how's that not going? You know, how's that not gonna go? So you know, that's the culture. That's the culture in this country. So yes, you're right about that, but there's still. You know what I mean? There's still a lot to it in this country.
Absolutely,
And
absolutely.
like I said, if a steel mill can still be standard since racism, and I've been saying this for almost a decade. If a steel mill can still be standard since slavery ended, you can't tell me that a mindset and a social construct can't still be standard.
Oh, yeah,
If
no.
a building,
Yeah.
if a building is still there,
Of course, but here's my thing though. I think we all have the same amount of opportunities as everybody else. You now people may not work as hard as everybody else, and I'm not saying that.
I mean, that's
and I
kind of
think
a big
that's
one.
I think that's what it really
Yeah.
comes down to is people say, "Oh, I didn't get this because of that," and whether you were qualified. I mean, granted, I do understand being qualified and then not getting a position. You checked off A to B, whatever the case is, and you didn't get it. Yeah, that's messed up. But that's again not always the situation. It's just you just wasn't a good fit for the job or whatever the case.
But if
may be.
but if you not if everybody that works here is white and you're black, then that's why you're not a good fit.
Well, so see, another thing though. I've worked for a lot of white companies, and I know when a company is trying to hire me because I'm black. Why? Because as a property manager, what do they do? They put you in the hood, the ghettos, with the security and everything like that. You need security from walk to here to there.
Oh,
You know
I
what
mean, like
but in my experience,
that's not
though,
DEI. That's not affirmative action.
but
Right?
what I'm saying
That's
is
like,
I haven't experienced a situation when I've actually been hired just because I'm black. Like I said, most of my jobs,
you mad?
if not all of them.
You mad?
No. I'm just saying.
I'm just
saying that's not my experience. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, you said you never had.
Yeah, like I've never had that
Oh,
experience.
I thought
where,
you
like,
said
so
I've been in places where I know they hired me.
No.
just because I'm black.
I said I know those companies
Okay.
because they always want to put me in the hood. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? I'm saying that I've always been awarded the opportunity to work wherever I wanted to, for real. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And then not based off the color of my skin, but because
Definitely not. They didn't give you a choice because you was black.
Right. They
Yeah,
knew
like,
that I
you
knew
had
how
be
to
talented.
say and do what I do. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? That
I mean,
part.
there's something for being qualified, right? But like you said, there's probably more people who are qualified that don't get that opportunity.
Yeah, and I'm not saying
because
that
of
doesn't
the
that
culture
happens.
though. Because
That
it's
happens.
because of the culture though, right? Like you said, if this is all white men here, like
They not gonna
like
come
what do we
hire
need a black woman
sister.
here for?
Exactly.
What do we need
exactly.
you here for? Like,
Yeah.
what's your attitude and shit? You come in
So-
here, you breathe.
I mean, it could be beneficial.
But remember
that
that
was
company I
stereotypical
said I worked in for Oakland?
See,
Oakland,
was-
California.
No, Oakland downtown
Oh, okay.
Pittsburgh. I was a all white company. I was the only black guy. I definitely experienced racism there.
yeah, you did.
I definitely
Yeah,
did.
because-
and
but
got
not
into a little
because they
scuffles
fucking-
because of it.
Oh, I'm about to say, but not really because they fucking hate you though. Just because
Nah,
like,
they love
just,
me. They
like,
love me.
just
They
all
love me.
there and like
Yeah.
it's like make fun of black people, all brown people, like you know what I mean. Like that's the culture.
That's the culture. That's a fact.
This is America, man.
Yeah, real talk.
This is America.
That's the
When you said that the first time, that's exactly what I thought about. Yeah.
Like real stuff, man.
Nah,
So
yeah,
what you got next?
This is the yo. We gotta wrap it up. You
Hold on. I got a couple of lighthearted ones. I
Oh,
seen you
go ahead. My bad.
NBA All Star Weekend. I seen you talk about that on your page.
Yeah. hold on,
What
man.
was your thoughts on?
We got less
We're
than 30, by the way.
gonna talk about just.
No, minutes.
Okay.
We're gonna talk about just the All Star
Nah, it's
game,
good.
just
Not
the
clip.
game on Sunday. How'd you feel like? What you think about the format? Both of y'all can answer. What y'all think about the format?
I ain't gonna lie. I didn't really see the whole thing.
That's
I
a shit.
didn't see it.
Yeah, I mean it was too long. I mean it was too long. Like there was just
4
not.
3 games or something like that. I didn't.
Man, it was just way too many sideshows.
Yes.
It was just way too many sideshows, too much non-basketball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, for All-Star. Like, I would rather see people score 140 points.
Yeah.
Somebody get
In
50.
1 quarter.
Somebody get 50. Or, you know what I mean? Like, I would rather see that than all of that other stuff. Like, and I don't even, like, I'm not like Draymond Green, like, oh, the non-All-Stars didn't have belong in the court. Like, bro, you're just mad because... Like you're a podcaster, bro. Like you're on TV.
He
You
had
don't
a
know
point
what it
though.
wanna be.
He had, I did like some of his takes though.
Bro,
I did like some of his takes
There's
though.
not enough all stars to make it a thing. Everybody's friends. Everybody's cool. Like you got to bring some other like.
That's what made them play harder because people was like, I'm not losing to them.
Yeah,
You
like,
lose to the rookie sophomore people, you're clipped.
You're clipped.
and like you said, and just like and like you said, LeBron's been an All-Star 22 years in a row, 21 years in a row.
It's crazy. He made that game time decision too. I'm like, damn, he ain't playing.
Yeah, like you don't get, you know what I mean? It's no fun. Niggas is rich. Niggas is rich. You know what I mean? So no, it's just that's the part. Like you gotta bring I'm not. I guess I sound like the people that was on there. I'm not mad at them for trying something different, but just play basketball.
Yeah.
Like we want to see basketball. We don't want to see Raphael Sadiq.
Yeah, that was
Like that nigga's
excessive.
from Oakland.
That was
that's
excessive.
why I was like Oakland, California. Like I had some shit for Oakland. Like and I know this is I don't
said,
like
yeah,
to put my ass in
smoke.
that
Yeah,
right.
smoke
Like,
for y'all.
but like no, like this shit was like too much. And I'm like, oh, these bitches is from Oakland too. Like the city, like
What was that in Vogue?
in Vogue, like
Yeah.
LWB,
They from
I don't know,
Oakland?
like
I didn't know that.
apparently you put the name from the game.
Swahidi or something like that.
Sweetie, yeah, like they
I
gave
didn't
her
know
2
she-
songs.
Yeah.
They gave Sweetie 2 songs.
I didn't know she was from Oakland either.
Like, why did they
From the
have
Bay.
to do? Like, why does she only get? Why she get 2 songs and these 2 niggas get 2 songs?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's not for
I didn't
us.
see it. Yeah.
It's not for us. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? They got to go back to just regular basketball.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling. I mean, I get the concept and
Too
I
much
get.
Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, bro, like, don't
Kevin
give
Hart
nobody
and Shaq
free
was
reign,
weird.
bro. Like,
Yeah.
They literally try something different, and I mean, I'd rather definitely be in East and West. You playing competitive, I get it. You know, first half you kind of just showboating, you throwing oops, but the second half, that's when shit should go down. But I haven't really seen a game like that probably in a couple of years. For real. It's been some time.
yeah, maybe
But last year
like-
was trash. They was like, yeah, we got to figure something out, and that's why they did that. I wasn't feeling it though.
Yeah, it was like did like Jason Tatum have like 40 last time or something like that? Or
Yeah,
when was the last time Steph Curry hit all the threes?
that probably.
And then
last
they only
year.
went to 40.
I don't be watching it all.
Yeah,
the
like
time.
that's
crazy.
nothing. Like when niggas is scoring 140,
Yeah.
like that's so but like yeah, I definitely wasn't feeling it. I would like to see him change and go back to just mean more basketball. I mean the Pro Bowl is at least we still watching the All-Star game. We just stop messing it up.
Now the Pro Bowl, I was like, what the?
We didn't watch that shit.
Dude had a snap. He had a snapback.
Niggas was mad
on.
football didn't come on that week.
Yo,
Like real talk, like you know what I mean. If they do, like we don't watch the Pro Bowl. If people go, if they keep doing what they're doing in NBA, people won't watch it.
Right. I don't know. You got another one?
do I? Did we talk about what Wednesdays?
Yeah, we talk about it a little
Yeah.
bit. I'll go ahead. I'll just use some of this time and just wrap it up and just kind of like
Yeah, wrap it,
bring it
you
all
know what I mean?
together.
Like just bring everything back together.
Encompass everything.
So, man, we talked about government contracting. We talked about politics.
Yeah.
Politics.
You know what I mean? We talked about culture, which is, was what we got to talk about, right? Like, without it even being directly about the culture. Y'all never asked me what I think about this culture, but everything really does, go back to that culture, exposure, proposals. You know what I mean? I'm glad that we got a long way. See, people are gonna forget that you called me the wrong name
Because we had
on
such a
Open.
good episode,
Yeah.
and they not gonna forget because you just reminded them it was good
It's
for
my job.
a minute.
That's what you brought him here for. You know what I mean? Keep you on your. You thought you was gonna keep me on my
I
toes.
thought I was safe. You ain't
know
asked
what I
us
mean?
no questions.
I was about to
though.
say that. You definitely asked us
Yeah,
a question.
No questions.
Okay.
You ain't come with no smoke, man.
No, but y'all showed y'all asses too. Like y'all was doing the whole New shit. That was like, you know what I mean? Like, so y'all showed so much of y'all personality. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I probably had to, I had to like, hold it down here too.
Right,
You know what I mean? New York
100%.
in the building, but you know what I mean? Just like, I am who I am because of how, like, being born to middle schoolers. Like, my mom and dad had me at 13, 14.
Right.
So that being my start, everything was, let's figure it out. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they didn't know what they was doing.
No, the kids.
Like, and you know what I mean? And then, so to even at that point, my grandparents still didn't have it figured out. But being born how I was, being able to grow up and say stuff that I shouldn't say, and you know what I mean? Like, that's, speaking is one of my gifts. And so that's why I can come here and not be nervous and be shaking my foot or biting my nails like I do. Like, you put a microphone in front of me.
It's natural.
Shit, you know what I'm saying?
You're going to
better not take it away, you know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? Like the lights cut off first. Like, you know what I mean? If the lights is off, you cut the lights on. If the lights is on, you cut them off. That's how I know. It's my time. But you know what I mean? Just being born that way and just being allowed to do that and make mistakes, bump my head, you know what I mean? It has to do with it.
I'm mad we ain't talk about it investing too. Because you had a lot of different crazy strategies.
Man, next time we come back, we talk about money. We just had like a bunch of money and shit on there.
Hey, don't test me, nah.
Yeah, nah, real shit though, real shit. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
see?
You know, for sure. No, really though. Like really, because sometimes people need to see that too. Like, you know what I mean? Like like when you being positive and just trying to be inspiring, you know what I mean? You know, the eyeballs are on the negative. The eyeballs are on the drama. You know what I mean? And so I commend you brothers for doing what y'all doing because y'all, you know what I mean? Y'all still being yourselves, but you know what I mean? Pushing to the other level. When I was in this class. It was a re-entry class. Shout out to Reimagine Re-entry. You know what I mean? That's been a big part. I went to the county for 2 weeks. Okay, these niggas really been in jail. You know what I mean? It's just so it was interesting for me that they let me in the class anyway because I was in jail. This was a couple years ago. These people had really just like came home on some stuff. You know what I mean? But it was good that I was there because I'm a leader.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And people, you know what I mean? I'm a leader of men.
People gravitate.
You know what I'm saying? Because I know what I'm talking about. I sound like I know what I'm talking about. I look like I know what I'm talking about. And people believe, you know what I mean? It's energy too.
Yeah,
shit
that's
ain't
a
fake.
fact. Yeah.
Like I'm there, you know what I mean? There's not nothing phony or fronting about me. You know what I mean? I've always had like I don't even really know what it's like to be looking on the outside, looking in like, damn, those people don't like me. I wish I was over there.
You said you never had a job.
yeah. But it's all perspective though, right? Like I've cashed, you know what I mean? I cashed many W-2 paychecks. You know what I mean? But like it's a mindset, man. Like being born how I was born, being raised how I was raised. I was born in Pittsburgh, grew up in Columbus. You know, plays football and everything like that. Number 26 running back in the nation coming out of high school. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think because you grew up in Pittsburgh, like we from New York, right?
Right.
I could bring this full circle.
I grew up in Columbus.
Oh, well, Columbus.
I did just say that too.
Yeah, but you lived out here for a majority of your growing up.
No. I grew up in Columbus.
Okay, but you lived out here though. So, but what I'm saying is like the environment is different because you were able the environment out here is business, money, LLCs, you know what I mean, growth, scaling.
Man, look,
the city is more like trying to get a crib, you know what I mean? That's as far as it goes.
The dichotomy is very, very interesting because we left Pittsburgh to get away from gangs and murder and street stuff.
That city,
and we moved to Columbus, right? And so if I was really a Pittsburgh nigga, I wouldn't be like this.
Yeah.
So to that point, if I didn't leave and grow up in Columbus and go to college in Louisiana,
and then come back,
and then come back as a grown man. When I came back, and this is people need to hear this. When I came back, I said, if a nigga try to play me, he don't even know me. He don't even know how I'll beat his ass. So I'm not even about to, you know what I mean, do what I would do before, because these niggas don't know me. They don't have to respect me. They don't know you. And then I've been just being so fly for all of these years too. Just been on some. I moved here at 21, so I'm still young. But I was grown as far as grown as I had been. So I'm on my shit. Give me a fedora, give me some casual shoes. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? You used to fucking these old bitches. I love it. Yeah, man.
Yo, that's hilarious though. Yo, but yeah, man, Brandon P. Rice.
There you go.
You already know. Gang. Got that one. You was waiting for me to fumble that one. Not right now. Got you.
Mr. Rice, not Mr. Price. Like, who the fuck is Mr. Price? Price is right.
Nah,
like, see, I take myself too serious to have a nickname like that. When you could just like, if I tell you my name and you just like think of a joke.
Yeah, that's good energy though.
Yeah, like that's good energy. You know what I'm saying? If your name is Jokey Joke.
Yeah, that's a good vibe though.
I'm not no jokey joke ass nigga.
Nah, not what I mean, but like
no, men, I do that. No, Amir's joke ass men. Like people like always playing and shit.
Yeah.
Like play fighting niggas. Like
So,
touching me and shit. Like
No. I'm not with that. I'm not with the play fight.
Yeah, don't
But
touch
if
me,
you got
man.
a quick,
Right.
if you got a quick comeback, I like quick comeback. You know,
Yeah,
keep
like
on your toes.
sarcasm, second
yeah,
language.
yeah,
I get that. I get
yeah,
that. I
yeah.
get that. But also, like, you play with niggas that like is funny. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't like that.
Like,
I don't like that.
Like, that's why I be like,
Take shit seriously. Yeah.
people call me Mr. Right because I'm a gentleman. At least that's the story behind it, right? I'm
Heard
Mr.
you.
Right because I'm a gentleman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everybody
Heard
jokes,
you.
you know what I mean? I'm a gentleman. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
so when we say heard you, that's like a little
oh
sarcasm.
yeah, no, I ain't even. I mean, I know. Come on, man. I ain't no sensitive nigga. Like, no. Like I said, when I moved out here, I'm like, just like growing up, like you not like you niggas ain't being in no fights. You ain't fighting in the club no more and shit like that. Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like you
we're not on that
can't,
type of time.
man. And I used to, and people don't. Nobody knows that, but nobody in Pittsburgh knows I play football.
But they know now.
You know what I mean? Like, so people don't like when I'm in Columbus. People like, oh shit, man, you should have went to the
What up?
NFL.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Or like you know what I mean? You be lifting
It's a little
weights.
different over here.
Like here, they like
It's
and them from
nothing like-
business, church, like a grown man shit.
Yeah.
It's nothing like when you go home and people know you, like who grew up with you. You know what I mean?
Man.
Because like even when I go home, you go home. You know, it's like, oh, what's up? We used to play ball together. You
Yep.
know what I'm
Like,
saying?
yeah, nigga,
We used
you went
to
to PS
play
118.
football.
108.
I'm PS 92.
Man, PS 118. That's Hey Arnold.
No,
I got y'all.
we was on the same type of
Yeah,
time though.
yeah.
'cause-
Niggas is like-
no, because we go PS 184 or PS in New York though.
No, I get it.
Yeah,
I
okay.
get
But
it.
he was just giving us the hell.
He had another.
Yeah, I
run.
thought y'all was like the same age as me, but y'all niggas is really old. Like,
Nah, we the same age.
Y'all acting
You
old,
wildin'.
man. Oh, y'all was at the bodega. Y'all wasn't in there watching cartoons.
Hell nah, we just
on
get
the
the
stoop.
bacon, egg, and cheese. You know what I
Stoop
mean?
kid. Stoop kid. That's Hey Arnold too. I don't even fuck with Hey Arnold like that, but I do PS shit. I just had to get y'all.
Yeah, you had to- you
You
had
know,
to
shout out to New
clap
York, but
back, yeah.
nah. So
Shout out to Ohio. Shout out to the
just
bird.
being,
Yeah, for sure.
just leaving your environment,
best
getting
thing
an
you could do for
opportunity
your
to be
life.
different. Get an opportunity to be exposed to different things, not just generational curses coming down on you, but also like, man, I was 10 years old. I used to walk to school. Man, I told myself I moved to Columbus and I would live there for 2 years, 98, 99, and move back. And then when I got back, everybody was like 5th grade. They knew what middle school they was going to. They had brothers and sisters in high school and everything. And I remember like I am nobody. I wasn't nobody. I could be like, oh, this such and such got my back, or you know what I'm saying. So I had to have
was on your
myself.
dolo.
And I remember telling myself at 10 years old, like, the people gonna know your little brother name, like, you know what I mean? You gonna make a name for yourself, and I did that, and I've never went anywhere and not been me.
Yeah.
And that's not, you know what I mean? People just be like, oh, I'm da. That's somebody that they want to be. That's somebody that they seen that they admire, or you know what I mean, envy or whatever. I'm me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm me. So I appreciate y'all brothers for having
Appreciate
me on
you,
this
yo,
joint,
for
man.
sure, yo.
Like, this
Drop your
dope.
tags real quick. Where can they find you?
MISTER.Rice on Instagram, Brandon P. Rice on Facebook, and yeah.
Yo, what is your middle name, bro?
Philip.
Philip. All
Brandon
right,
Philip Rice.
Rice. All
Yeah,
right,
I'm
there
Brandon
we go.
Philip Rice. You know what I mean? Shout out to Uncle
crazy.
Drake. That's my. We got the same birthday.
Yeah.
I was born on Friday
okay.
the 13th.
Oh yeah.
Very scary. You know what I'm saying? Very scary.
Scary
Spooky hours.
hours.
You
You
know what I
know
mean?
what I mean?
Straight up.
Yo, we talking like it's crazy. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Always at the same punchline. So y'all already know, man. I'm K.
I'm Chaz.
And our special guest today is.
Mr. Rice.
You
get
already know. We locking in another episode. Until next time, gang.
Holla. That was good. Appreciate you, bro.
Absolutely.
Sir.